How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. We also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about SOS and as well as EBON. As you normally know, I like to go over agenda, and I always have timestamps down below in all my videos. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is the earnings report for SOS, which came out today and did contribute to some of the momentum we saw in the stock. After that, then we're going to be doing the technical analysis for SOS and as well as EBON. EBON got to benefit from SOS, and this was actually great to see. But also, I haven't been seeing any recent updates from Fintel, so we're going to be taking a look at order flow distribution. This is something brand new that we're doing on the channel. It's something that I always look at the end of the day, and I'm going to be sharing it with you guys today, and you're going to see it in this video. And then after, when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's get into it. So we're now on PR Newswire, and we're going to go over the financial results for SOS. So fiscal year revenue increased by 333.6% to 50.3 million. Net profit increased to 193.3% to 4.4 million, and gross margin increased by 7.5% to 25.8%. SOS announced today its audited financial results for the full year ended December 31st, 2020. In 2020, the company completed its transition out of the P2P business and into the insurance marketing and other business when it injected the business carried out by SOS Information Technology Company and disposed of all of the subsidiaries related to the P2P business. Fiscal year 2020 financial highlights comparing to SOS Information Technology Co. Total revenue was 50.3 million, representing a 333.6% increase over total revenue in the fiscal year ended 2019. Insurance marketing revenue was 49.2 million, representing a 325% increase over last year's insurance marketing revenue. Revenues from three segments, customer hotline, bank card call center, and its SaaS services were 0.9 million and 0.08 million and 0.06 million respectively. Gross profit increased by 513.5% to 13 million compared to the fiscal year ended 2019. Gross margin increased by 7.5% to 25.8% compared to the fiscal year ended 2019. Operating income was 10.1 million, representing an increase of 475.4% from the fiscal year ended 2019. Net profit in 2020 was 4.4 million or 0.0135 basis per share compared to a net income in 2019 of 1.5 million or 0.025 basis per share. As of December 31st, 2020, cash and cash equivalents were 3.7 million. Mr. Yang Dang Wang, CEO and chairman of SOS, commented, SOS exited a challenging year with exceptional full-year operational and financial results that exceeded our expectations. I'm very proud of our management team's ability to plan and execute strategies for a profitable year upon completion of our business transition in 2020. We will continue to leverage our data mining and analysis platforms with a goal of developing a robust pipeline for insurance marketing and related service products. With a strong financial position, the entire SOS team is focused on the execution and the delivery of the company's strategic growth plan in marketing data business, blockchain-based insurance and security management business, and cryptocurrency mining with the goal of significantly increasing shareholder value. So I will be putting a link in the description. You guys can read on further and check out the rest. But so far, it looks really good in regards to how the financial results were for SOS, and I hope this does help in regards to giving even more legitimacy to their business. And one thing to also be aware of, this is not even taking into account anything in regards to where they started pivoting into cryptocurrencies. So I'll be definitely looking forward for the next earnings report. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for SOS, which ended up closing today at $4.27, being up 5.17% on the day. On the low, it tested $4, and then on the high, testing $4.73. So one of the things that were great to see today, we're continuing to respect that area of support right here at $4. This is a psychological level here, and the fact that we able to test it and rebound and actually have a strong move to the upside is great to see. Also, do pay attention to the fact of the high that we reached at 473. We actually ended up reaching this back on the 27th. So keeping that in mind, this is definitely an area of resistance for us that gets met with a lot of selling pressure, as you can see what's been going down today. We also got to take into consideration the market conditions were not the greatest either. So I do believe if the conditions were a lot better and we had more volume and more buying pressure, we easily could have gotten to the $5 range, especially if we would have been able to pass 480. But one thing I want to see from SOS is actually it closing the day above the $4.27 level. And that's part of the reasons being because of the 21-day EMA. We want to start seeing a bullish pattern starting to form, and then we also want to see it coming back to reclaim the 200-day so we can look forward to a move to the upside. It would be great to see something like this tomorrow or going into next week, but again, there's going to be a lot of volatility in the markets, so that's all I'm really trying to prepare you guys for in case we get a bullish move. Now, what I want to see, if we don't end up getting that bullish move that we're looking for, I want to see this $4.20 level actually hold up as an area of support. We spoke about this in the past as well, and it definitely has held up. So I want to see that continuing to hold up. If it doesn't hold up, we'll definitely be testing around this 410 area, and then after that we'll have that test of 4 and seeing how well it could actually hold itself up. If it does end up breaking, as you can see back here, which was just yesterday, we'll be seeing tests of around the 380 level. Also taking a look at the RSI right here, we're right at fair value in regards to 50, so it definitely doesn't look too hot right now. What I mean by that, it does not mean that it stayed above 75 or it's at 80 and the stock is cooling off. Not at all. The fact that we finished up on the day, even though it's only 5%, we got to take a look and see how things go tomorrow, because if we end up having a bullish move, I could want to see a retest of the 470s and actually getting past it and reaching around the 480s. And now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SOS. So as we see, in regards to inflow, it was at 41, and in regards to outflow, it was at 44. So what this means is there was a lot of selling pressure that was going on today, and it's no surprise, like I was saying in the technicals, when we hit that 470 level, we ended up having a strong sell-off. But one thing to take notice of are the large scale orders in the last 5 days. As you can see here on May the 5th, which is today, we had about 1,187, and this is actually looking better for the past 5 days, as you can see. So even if you put everything together in regards to inflow and outflow, inflow is definitely a lot higher, and that's something that you want to take notice of when we take a look at amount of shares that are being exchanged. So it's definitely looking bullish for SOS, just looking at order flow distribution overall. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for EBAN International, ticker symbol EBON, which ended up closing the day at $3.76, being up 3.01% on the day. On the low, it tested $3.60, and then on the high, testing $3.95. So one of the things that we want to take notice of and be aware are areas of support. So we see that we have some support here right at 350, and we did a great job respecting this area of support right here at 360. We were able to bounce off of it, and then we saw like a strong run that was going to 395. No doubt in my mind, if we're able to get past 395 and get to $4, we would have had a nice run and would have been able to catch up to the 100-day and along with the 200-day at 420. And why do I say this? Is because this $4 level is a key level psychologically. EBON trading below this level, it definitely does provide some opportunities here, in the sense if we end up having any type of a catalyst, we could see a strong movement. It did work off the sympathy play for SOS today, because they literally did the same particular kind of movement by having that run up that we saw. So just taking that into consideration, just know areas of resistance that you want to look out for is right here at this $3.85 level, and seeing that retest of 395 can really get it past a 4, along with, again, a lot of buying volume. This needs to happen. If it's low volume, then it's going to be hard for EBON and as well as SOS to pass these resistance areas that we ended up seeing for today. So from what we're seeing on the chart currently, even though it closed at $3.76, it's really sitting right on that 21-day EMA. But if it does end up going below that, then we can look forward to seeing actually a continuation of a bearish trend. But if it does pull back, just know about those areas of support, especially here around this 350, which I would expect to actually see it hold up, and as well as this area of 360. So going from 350 to 360, and now we're at 376. Hey, let's see if it continues this uptrend so we can catch back up to our 100-day and 200-day and start seeing a bullish move to the upside. Now we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution for EBON. So we can see here today we had an inflow of 13,111 and an outflow of 11,442. But when we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, of course there's a lot more selling pressure on that end. But one thing to take notice of is what it's going to be looking like for tomorrow, because we did have a higher inflow than we did have for outflow. And this pretty much means what it's looking like. There's definitely people who are loading the boat on EBON in the low price ranges of where it's at sub $4. So that's something that we need to continue to keep an eye on and see what goes on with the price action. So for my final thoughts for SOS, this was definitely great news hearing how well the earnings report was. And one thing you need to take in consideration as a shareholder, this is only the results coming from their core business and not from their pivot into crypto mining. So taking all of that into consideration, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the next earnings report, which I feel will be even better. Another thing that we also need to understand in regards to price action, we did end up getting a movement in the stock today. We ended up seeing some resistance at that 473 level, but do keep in mind the market conditions also weren't the greatest as well. I do believe if conditions were better, we would have been able to get the 5. It didn't happen, ended up having a strong sell-off. So that's why I want you guys to be prepared for pullbacks if they happen. And if you have high conviction in SOS, I see it as an opportunity to get it at a good price. Now moving on to EBON. So seeing how EBON is doing, we looked at the order flow distribution and we see, hey, inflow was right up there and the outflow was not outpacing it. But do keep in mind, it seems that a lot of people are loading up when EBON is below $4. So that's just something to keep in mind there. And if you believe, like myself, that Bitcoin's going to be hitting 100K before the end of the year or at the beginning of next year, then I definitely see some upside for EBON here, and a lot of people are taking advantage of that just by looking at the distribution. And the same thing that we noticed with SOS, when that news ended up dropping in regards to earnings, people started loading the boat. Those large scale orders started coming in. So they know what they're doing, and I want to make sure you guys are paying attention to these sort of things, because again, it's going to have an impact on the stock price, and you want to be able to be buying shares when you're getting it at a good deal. And a great way to notice that is when we see institutions are buying up and they're doing large orders, hey, that just tells you as far as the price is concerned, it is reasonable. You do not want to be overpaying, and on top of that, you want to be able to maximize your profits as well. So as far as for my overall thoughts on everything, hey, we already know there's a lot of excitement going on in cryptocurrency in regards to Doge, as well as Bitcoin, and Ethereum is killing it. Doge is killing it leading up to Saturday Night Live going on May the 8th for Elon Musk. So I just want to make sure you guys are keeping your ears open, you're doing your homework, and you're taking advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you considering the market conditions that we are having. Hope you guys found this video helpful.